Also, Khloe Kardashian. I'm glad I'm not her realizing my father was in prison for killing someone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Ruckus with Alex Himes. And in studio, we have one of the two big men from Hoops N Brews. And man, I gotta say, Hoops N Brews, that's a great damn title, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
For you guys that don't know, I'm Pavy, one half of Hoops N Brews. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bro. Welcome to the studio.
If you want to know how the name came apart, it started during the 2016 playoffs.
What series?
Just like the entire playoffs.
Okay.
So me and the homie Thomas, TPJ, we basically would like watch every game at his old apartment, like on like his 32-inch television, and we would just like drink beer and talk basketball and just like argue for like hours. And I was like, bro, we have to start recording.
Yeah, this is how it is.
We have to, because I know we're not the only people on planet Earth who drink beer and like have arguments with their friend about basketball for hours.
Yeah.
So we started recording it, and here we are today.
Damn. Well, okay. So, is it just beer? I know that sounds like the most dumb question, but...
No, I mean, some of these conversations took place off Jameson. Like, even when we do the show sometimes, we'll drink Jameson, we'll drink other things, but, you know, just Hoops N Brews, just, like, it rings off the tongue better than, like, Hoops and Jameson.
See, now he's talking my language. I can get behind that.
What, Jameson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Jameson. It's my go-to. It's Old Faithful.
Man, Johnny Walker Black on the rocks.
See, I used to do a lot of Johnny Walker when I was younger. When I was like 23, I drank mad Johnny Walker.
Wait, how old are you?
20. I'm going to be 28 next week. I didn't think about it until I know I'm getting older. I'll be 28 next week.
Damn. How old do you think I am?
I actually thought you were like 24, but then we had a conversation off air, so I'm assuming like 32.
32?
Yeah.
I turned 24 in September.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I got it right then.
Damn. 32. Holy shit.
I mean, I said 24 at first, though.
Yeah, no. I know, but that's the oldest I've ever gotten.
Okay.
And I have my baby face. I don't even have my beard.
No, look, the reason why I said that was because we had a conversation off air.
Yeah.
And you said 8, and I was like, well, if you were 8 in that year, then you must be...
Well, wait, what? That was... What year was OJ's thing?
That was 94. I was 3.
Oh, shit. If that was 94, then no, I was born the next year.
Yeah, you weren't born yet.
I remember hearing this story. I was... How old was... Well, then when did I... Oh, I heard the story when I was 8. That's how I have it.
Yeah.
I heard the story when I was 8.
Yeah, because
right.
That doesn't... Like, no, bro. Like, that happened in 95. I was 3. I don't even actually remember the Bronco driving. I remember it. Like, I remember when ESPN did the doc, I was so shocked. Like, yo, this really happened like this.
I remember when the documentary came out, and when I first saw the ball was when I was 8 years old, and I asked my dad about it because I was at Hawthorne. For those that don't know, I have a signed O.J. Simpson football in the background, and there's like a big story behind it. I was in middle school, and no, I wasn't. My sisters were in middle school. They were doing some type of like fundraising event, and O.J. came by and actually signed some footballs, and they got sold. And then a couple weeks later, he ended up being on TV. Yeah,
in the Bronco.
And we're all just like, wait, what?
Going down to 10 in the Bronco.
Like, how do you end up there? Like,
I don't know.
Think about that.
I don't know. Like, when the doc came out, I didn't know that, like, it was that, like, I knew it was crazy, but I didn't know it was,
Which
like,
one? The People versus O.J. Simpson? The
ESPN doc, the one that was, like, 5
Oh, the ESPN doc?
parts.
I'm talking about the one that was American Crime Story. The
Both
one
of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, both of them. But even, like, both of them. Like, I didn't know the American Crime Story kind of, like, delved more into, like, the case.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. But also, like, I didn't know the history of, like, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how big. It would have been, like, if LeBron did that. Like, I didn't know how big O.J. Simpson was.
Yeah.
It's something that you really wouldn't know unless you were, like, around in that time.
Yeah, like, we're young, too. Like, we're looking at it after the fact.
Yeah, like, I was 3 in 94. Like, I didn't remember that happening. I don't know. But that would have been, like, literally if, like, LeBron did that. Dude. That's how big it was.
I remember sitting and watching the first episode of the American Crime Story one, and like 10 minutes in, I'm like, and then 30 minutes in, I'm like, OJ did this. Like, there's no doubt. Like, he fucking did it.
No, literally, like, you know, I mean, just one thing, like, being like African American, we always like, nah, OJ ain't do it. That's the doc. Like, no, OJ did that. Dude. He 100% did that.
And they
just got away
with
it.
They portrayed it well. Like, all right. So, like, growing up, during that time, like when I was a kid, like you said, we don't really pay attention. We don't really know what's going on. And then watching the series, they're like, they really painted it as a race thing. Like there was definitely a whole race line that was brought from that one fucking cop.
No, and also just think about the time in which it happened in LA. That's right after the LA riots.
Yeah,
so it's
Rodney
like you get all of that tied in. It's like, well, I mean, we can convict him, but then we don't know what's gonna happen after that. Like, because again, like Johnny Cochran did a great job of making it about race. Like he did an amazing job of making it more so even about race than about the case.
Yeah.
Like it was more like it really like at a certain point that case was more about black and white than it was even about like what he did to these people. So he did a great job of portraying that, just like the time and the climate of Los Angeles. I don't know if the city could have held up. I don't know if they thought the city could have held up if they would have. Yeah, if it would have.
Which makes sense, like as you said, like given the time and what was going on. Yeah. Like probably would have been more riots.
That was what, a year and was that? It happened in '94. The riots were in '92, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, '92.
Like 2 years later, so that's still fresh on everybody's mind.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I'm not O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I am super glad I'm not O.J. I have no plans to be O.J. Simpson.
Also, Khloe Kardashian. I'm glad I'm not her realizing my father was in prison for killing someone. Yeah, I just went there. Yeah, see, I got a laugh out of it. You got the chuckle. All right, well, we got to dive into what he talks about most, and that is the NBA.
Yeah.
We're at the playoffs.
We are at the playoffs.
We're at the conference finals.
We are.
Not the conference finals I wanted.
What conference finals did you want?
Man, I'm a diehard Celtics fan. I did not want this to happen. But I will say I'm relieved that the Celtics season is over.
I feel you. It was a very weird season for the Celtics.
I'm going to hold my tongue on that.
I mean, like, looking back on it, like, so when we just analyze the Celtics, right? When I even think about, if you look at it, I don't know why everybody thought it was going to work. I actually don't know why I even thought it was gonna work. I think I was picking them. I was picking them in conference. I'm like, yo, they're gonna end up in the conference finals. Like, I don't know why I even thought that.
I think that the reason people thought it would work is because Brad Stevens is that good of a coach. And don't get me wrong, this season has in part to do with Brad, right? But a lot of it has to do with external factors. Kyrie Irving's impending free agency, trying to reincorporate two guys, one of which being Kyrie, into the offense when it was already free-flowing last year. Like, last year's offense in the conference finals, like that Celtics run in the playoffs period, actually, really reminded me of Golden State Warrior basketball. And then you try and reincorporate two guys, of which one is a ball-dominant player and needs the ball to be efficient in Kyrie. And the same goes for Gordon, but Gordon's on a different area. He's a $31 million man that the Celtics gave that money to. You have to play it. Like, I don't care. You pay that money.
He has to play.
He has to, because it's one of two things. Either he gets that, he shows his value for that contract, at least somewhat, right? And he fits into the system, or he shows the value, starts recuperating his value, and then the Celtics can move him.
Yeah.
But
if he doesn't play, you can't. Then that's just dead money on the books.
Yeah, there's no point, and they can't stretch it. They can't do any of that.
Like, that's $31 million.
Man,
paying to that man.
Look, Kyrie Irving will not be a Celtic this summer, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually happy that he won't, because he'll be better off in a different system and a different team, and the Celtics will be better off with a guy like Terry as the starting point guard.
See, but my thing is, like, I actually think that the Kyrie thing could have worked in Boston, but the issue is, like, when you don't, obviously it's smart of him not to sign before the season because of more money and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't think that team was... If you're going to build a team around Kyrie, you don't do it like that. But also, you couldn't build a team around Kyrie because he ain't give you no promise that he was staying. Yeah. So it's like that. And then you have Rozier. Like, you look at Rozier. I think one thing we have to realize is, for one, like, especially with young players, I think everybody wants to, like, winning first. I don't think it's winning first when you're still really young. Like, everybody still has something to prove. Yeah. One, you got something to prove because you're trying to get paid. Yeah. Like, Terry has not got his money yet. Jalen, he's still looking for a contract. Jason Tatum, he still got stuff to prove.
But Terry, of all the guys, got screwed this year.
He got screwed.
He did.
He got screwed.
Look, I mean,
and it sucks. It sucks. Like, him buying in probably cost himself $30 million.
Yeah. He probably, I think, a good contract for him will be a little bit more than Smart. He'll get like a 4-year, $60 million deal.
Is he getting 60? Is he getting 60?
Look, if Marcus Smart can get a 4-year, $52 million deal, and the guy, every time he shoots a three, I stop for a moment and hope that it doesn't either airball or go too long. And offensively, Terry Rozier is way better than Smart.
Debatable. debatable. Here's why it's debatable, because Marcus Smart is also a really good playmaker. Like, Marcus Smart also does do things offensively that doesn't exactly.
He's better off the ball.
He's better off the ball.
And like, Terry is better on the ball.
Yes.
And he's also a great distributor. He reminds me of a true blend of Rajon Rondo in the sense of passing ability and playmaking, right? Maybe Rozier. Maybe not in the sense of the crazy passing, but he can set up an offense really well, but he's also got the scoring aspect of things. Yeah. So, like, maybe a comparable comparison would be like a Ramon Sessions. Like, Terry Rozier could be a Ramon Sessions. You know?
A better scoring version of
Ramon. More
Ramon
athletic, too.
Because Ramon couldn't put the ball in the bucket like Terry.
All right, well, I got to ask you this.
What's up?
What has been your biggest surprise? It can be series, it can be player, whatever you want.
You know what? This playoffs has really made me a Jokic fan.
Yeah?
It really, really made me a Jokic fan. Like, I still don't think Jokic can be the number one option on a team.
It could be a 1A, 1B, though.
Exactly. Like my thing is, I'm actually really, really excited about the Nuggets next year with Michael Porter Jr. coming back. If Michael Porter Jr. is anything like the player that we thought he was coming out of high school, like, you got a really, really good team. Like, you got I feel like the only thing the Nuggets were missing all playoffs was a guy that you could throw the ball to, everybody else move, you figure it out.
Yeah, like a complete ISO guy.
Exactly. Like, they still don't have a main option. Like, I think everybody was playing,
Melo.
Like, literally, like, this would be like inserting Melo on this team.
Melo, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is going to elevate too. This season,
yes.
You know, all right, so I went to school out in Lexington, all right? Mm-hmm. And Calipari said the most talented player he ever coached was Jamal Murray.
I actually, the way I first started watching Jamal Murray was in the FIBA games when he was 18.
Yep.
It was Canada versus somebody. And all I remember is, like, all the big shots in that game came from 18-year-old Jamal Murray. That's why I was like, yo, Jamal Murray is not scared of the moment at all.
Yeah.
At all. And he has like a little bit like asshole in him, which, like, you need.
He's got that Allen Iverson personality to me.
Yeah, he's like first team all. He think he Kobe.
Yeah, even though he's not there yet. Yeah,
but he's not as good.
He's on that level of, like, I can see the trajectory and why they took him and why he's one of those guys that will stay there.
Yeah.
The guy that I feel like is such an odd man out who deserves to have more of a moment is Gary Harris, though, for them. Like, I love Gary Harris.
I do.
But Jamal Murray makes him expendable.
Yeah, and also I think the backcourt might be a little bit too small.
I agree with that.
I think, like,
they need a bigger point guard.
One of the two needs to be bigger.
Well, were they running Jamal at the point or the shooting guard? I'm pretty sure they were running most of the time at shooting guard.
No, Jamal was playing point, but it's just like Jokic was the main ball handler in the half court. But, like, Jamal was playing point and Harris was playing the two. Then they would have, like, Torrey Craig at the three.
I like Craig, though.
I love Craig.
Yeah.
I love Torrey Craig. I realized who Torrey Craig was the game when I think it was Harden got his. It was like doing a 30-point streak when Harden got his 30, but he worked hard as hell for that 30.
Yeah.
Like, he worked hard for the 30.
He was this team's DeMar Carroll from the Atlanta teams that were going deep.
I agree. So, yeah, like, this playoff really made me a Jokic fan. Like, I just like his passing. He even competed defensively.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like he was a complete turnstile defensively.
And we were knocking him defensively earlier this year. I remember people talking about it. And I'm like, dude, he's a 7-footer who's also a ball handler. Like, you got to understand that some things are going to be not as pristine for a guy who's doing literally everything on the court. Like, you can't be doing everything at 100% level. Like, you do things at like 90, then 80, and then some of them you have like between there, and you have other guys to cover you. Like, look what KG did for Perkins in Boston. Everyone thought he was an amazing defender. He was a big body that happened to be with one of the best defenders in the league at the time. So it's like, no wonder Perk was able to get that 5-year, $35 million contract from OKC. All right, so my biggest surprise for the playoffs, we already talked about the Celtics bowing out. For me, though, I will say I think the two biggest ones have been how deep Milwaukee has looked. Like, this series, Kawhi Leonard, to me, is the best scorer on the floor, period, even with Giannis. Like, he is the guy you can trust at any point in the game. Like, there were shots in game one that I saw Giannis take that similar plays were ran for Kawhi, right? And Kawhi was able to knock them down. Like, to me, he's the best scorer on the court. But the team that has the most, that is the deepest in terms of shooting, floor spacing, and also longer is the Bucks. Like, I mean, I can't put it better than that. Like, the Bucks really are that deep, and it showed in the Celtics series. Like,
bro, there were times in which they took game 1, and I think it was game 4. They didn't win game 1, but it was times when they took Giannis off the floor and actually made runs. And in game 4, I think it was at the end of the third quarter, they took Giannis off the court, went up 10. Went up 10.
Connaughton, Middleton,
George Hill,
dude,
out of his mind.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm still upset over the fact that George Hill had a wide open lane for a massive jam. Like, this was his first year in the playoffs, first year out of college. Like, that should not be okay. George Hill should not be having a highlight this late in his career.
It should not be having a highlight this late in his career.
So that, but in particular with the Bucks, and last night showed it to me, was Brook Lopez. Oh, no, it was 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. The first time in this man's career I think I've ever seen where he's had a double-double in the playoffs. He had 29 and 11.
Yo, like, there were a couple games last year in which he had no rebounds.
Yeah, he had like 30 points and 2 rebounds for the Lakers. And it's like, how are you a 7-footer?
7 feet out, you get no rebounds.
And the guy also was not a 3-point shooter last year.
I don't know where this came from. Like, yo, like, everybody's like, why didn't the Lakers sign him back? Because he wasn't doing this last year.
This wasn't what we saw.
What we saw last year. I don't know. Like, this man literally became J.J. Redick in one summer.
Out of nowhere.
He be pulling up from 30 feet.
Him and Mirotic on the court together, it's
wild.
And you know the craziest thing to forget, that we've forgotten, I should say, is that Pau Gasol signed with the team and had foot surgery, so he's not there. So if they had Gasol, it'd be, in terms of 7-footers, Giannis. They had Thonmaker. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
They have Brook Lopez. They would have had Pau. They have length at every damn position.
I mean,
even their guards are big.
I think Bledsoe has, what, a 7-foot wingspan or something like that?
It's ridiculous,
crazy.
man.
It's wild.
I like Bledsoe a lot. I really do. I think that he got so overhyped coming out of Los Angeles, you know, and ending up in Phoenix. Like, I thought Phoenix also was a bad situation for him. Like, I get it.
He had like 4 guards at that time.
Yeah, like, make your money, get paid. I'm always about players getting their money, but like, that situation was not that was not a go-to situation for you.
I think because they had Dragic, they had IT, and they had you. That's all 3 people that's pretty much playing point guard. That can't.
Who else did they have? They had at one point, I think Tyler Ulis.
They did have Ulis too. Ulis was there as well. That's 4 guards.
They had a lot, and then I think Booker came after.
Yeah, Booker was there with him, but Booker got drafted. Like,
but it was later. It was later, and he wasn't really getting much rotation time. But like, I think the Bucks actually do beat the Raptors in 7.
You think it's going 7?
Yeah.
You think it's going 7?
I think solely because Kawhi. I think it could go 6 or 7, right? But I think 7 because with what Kawhi did last series, I'm not going to disrespect the guy and say it's a 6-game series. Like,
here's my thing with like last series. Even in Game 7, right? I feel like neither coach put their teams in the best position to win. Neither coach. For one, like, okay, you see with Embiid, why is he doing like 10 Euro steps? If you need a bucket, like, I know we're in the era everybody wants to shoot threes, get up the court, but like the easiest way to score is still closest to the basket.
Yeah.
Also, if you get that man the ball down there, they have to like double him. Like, you have to. That opens up the floor for other people. Like, even with Marc Gasol, right? I saw too many times in the Philly series. I even saw it last night. The play in which Giannis made Lowry travel.
Yeah.
And he got switched out on him. Marc Gasol standing at the 3-point line with George Hill on him.
Yeah.
Post.
But that's the problem with today's offenses.
I don't, but that's like Nick Nurse so many times doesn't even call a play for Kawhi. It's like just ISO. Yeah. And it's like, that's dope. He can do it, but that's so hard.
Dude, last night I said something that I think would make complete sense for Joel Embiid and for some of these other big men. They should take the summer and train with Andre Miller. Work on your post game. There is no one better. That man was a guard who entered the league playing like a 40-year-old man, left the league playing like a 40-year-old man.
He had a 20-year career in the NBA.
And that guy had one of the best post games for a guard.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that these guys should train with, especially these bigs who are considered ball handlers like Jokic, if he trained with him to get that post game, I think Jokic and Embiid would benefit from a more refined post game.
I agree. And
because they're such ball dominant bigs, they could utilize all the stuff that Miller is giving them, and it would benefit them.
I agree 100%. That's actually great. That is great. Yo, if you don't know who Andre Miller is, cut this live stream off right now, you should know who Andre Miller is. And if you don't know who Andre Miller is, go watch some tape on Andre Miller. I completely agree with that.
Best afro in the NBA in the last 20 years,
But
man.
again, like I just see too many times in which like we just alienating the bigs to being like spot up 3-point shooters. Like, yo, if you gonna go out there and make that trade for Marc Gasol, like I understand it's not 2013 no more, but Marc Gasol can still give you 14 points.
Well, this is the best defensive center that Kawhi's ever played with. In terms of like pure centers,
yes,
this is the best defensive center.
And like the man can still give you 14 points. If you like, I counted in certain games every single time Gasol would touch the ball in the post, it was either a foul or he made a shot.
Yeah.
Every single time. They just didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
So, like, my only thing, like, yes, I think the Raptors have the personnel for it to possibly go 6 or 7. But my thing is, like, Nick Nurse. Like, I don't know if he can out-coach Bud for a game.
I actually agree with that. I like Coach Bud. The fact that he was able to take that Hawks team with 4 All-Stars, of which we're like, come on, man.
60 wins with that team.
Like, if he was able to do that, he can do it with this team. Especially now that he has a true, definitive superstar. Like, it's not a team effort. Like we saw Toronto last year when they had DeRozan, it was always a team effort, right? And don't get me wrong, I love watching team effort teams, but really these days you need that guy like a Kawhi who can take over the game. Like, this is my time.
Yeah.
Toronto made the best move, and I don't think he leaves. I think after this series, because of that shot, he stays, even if they go down. This is the best situation for him.
The only thing is you do have an Asian group of guys.
Man, if he wins in that country,
oh yeah, he's a god. He's a god.
If he gets the Supermax there, he gets paid big time. He can stay low key and still be a big face.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when the trade came down at first, I was like, oh, he's probably gonna stay. Like, you have a country to yourself.
No, I thought he was going to the Clippers immediately.
See, I didn't think that, but like as time went on, I started to think he might go to the Clippers.
Really? I did the inverse. I was like, this guy's going to the Clippers, and now it's like...
Because I was looking at so much last series, and I'm like, yo, even just you having the injury history of last year, like, you are asked to do so much as far as scoring-wise. If you were to go to the Clippers, like, really, the only thing the Clippers missed all year was a dominant scorer.
Yeah.
If they would have, like, literally, if they would have had a scorer who could get you 25, 30 points, they might have took the Warriors 7. They actually really might have took the Warriors.
I think it's in particular a dominant scoring small forward like that.
Exactly.
Like I like Gallinari, but like
he's not
like that guy.
Like he can't get you 20. You can't count on him to get you 20 points every single night.
This has been their problem dating back to when they had Caron Butler, man.
Forever.
Caron Butler, Pierce, they haven't had a definitive superstar, like a young definitive superstar small forward to take over.
I 100% agree, and I think that if Kawhi came there, that's like a 60-win team.
Yeah, I can say that.
So that's the only reason why I did the inverse. But again, after this performance, like, yo, I mean, if you get to Game 7 of the conference finals, I mean, why not run it back?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, like they can pay you the most money. You have an entire country to yourself. I even saw on StockX his New Balances was selling for reselling for like $300. Yeah. His New Balances. So like people
Kawhi Leonard New Balance.
Kawhi Leonard was selling for $300. So like people clearly know who you are now. Like it's not like you're stuck. You're not stuck in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I feel you.
All right. So then you're picking the Bucks.
I'm picking the Bucks.
Versus Golden State.
Bucks, Golden State. I actually did a podcast on this. I have the Bucks in 5. Call me crazy, but here's why. The reason why is, okay, for one, if KD is 100% healthy, then I'm rocking. But my thing with KD is like, okay, so you have a calf strain, right? Allegedly is worse than what we know it is, right? But you can't just like hop into the finals. Like you can't hop into the finals after not playing basketball for 3 weeks and think you just gonna go back to giving you 30 points a night.
They're better off without KD.
I feel you, but not in a series against the Bucks. The reason why
that's the only team that it is.
But that's the why. Like, yes, like, okay,
they're too big.
Like everything Steph is doing against Portland is great, it's dope. But like, I don't think all of that happens the exact same way against the Bucks because of the length. You even heard KD said, yo, we struggle against teams with length. Even if you look at every single performance they've had against the Bucks, like Steph doesn't go out there and give you like 40. Yeah. I think he can average like 26, 27. Like between 25 and 27, but I don't think you're gonna get the same type of production that you get in the Portland series or Clay. I don't think either one of them. I don't like.
See, I don't know. I think the one team that they would, I think if it was between the Bucks and the Raptors, they could get away with not having KD against the Raptors.
Oh yeah, they could. Yeah,
but against
KD,
the Bucks,
they gonna need 100% healthy KD, and I just don't know after not playing basketball for 3 weeks because you gotta think he strained.
It's a calf strain, and he's long. He has no muscle.
But Yes, but same thing is like, how conditioned are you? Like, you probably can't really run like that.
Nah, I wouldn't want him to come back too quickly either. That's the thing.
I 100% agree. But again, and also, you even said they're better off on us. So, okay, all right, you get a 80% KD, right? If you put him on the court, you have to use him.
Yeah.
And you can't just stick him in the corner and be like,
no,
right,
yeah, no, he can't be a spot up dude.
Yeah, and that's gonna slow the offense down. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're right. Like, they would be better off without him if he's not gonna be 100%. But I don't know. Like, I don't know about his health level and about Boogie. Like, I don't know about his health level. I don't think he's coming back.
No, I don't think so either.
So like in this, like, and the thing about Draymond and Giannis is, like, Draymond is pretty close in, like, fouls.
Yeah.
Every single year. Giannis, he be shooting 20 free throws a game sometimes.
I will say, the one thing, before we close this out, the Celtics series showed me that fouls against the Bucks, Giannis has turned into LeBron James with fouls and James Harden. Yeah. In that series alone. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he got 22 foul attempts in one game. Like, it's wild.
All right, so before we go, this is a rapid fire question for you.
What's up?
Should the Lakers trade LeBron James?
Hell no.
No? 100% no?
Hell no.
Shouldn't entertain it?
No.
Was hiring Frank Vogel a good decision?
Yeah. I mean, last time we saw Frank Vogel with a good team was Conference Finals. And you got Kidd back there. He'll be fine.
Did you laugh when the Knicks didn't get the number 1 overall pick?
I laughed harder when the Bulls got the 7th pick.
Man, I love it. Well, this has been a fun show with the Ruckus.
It's been a great show.
Come on, give them your socials, man.
Man, you can follow me at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word. And also, you can follow Hoops N Brews at Hoops N, like N, not N, Brews. That's Twitter, that's the Instagram, www.hoopsandbrews.com.
Catch all the social tags for Pavy and Hoops N Brews on this video when we go out. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to check out the other social media at Himes World on Instagram, at Alexander_Himes on Twitter, and please check out the latest Facebook stuff because we're putting in a lot of work out there. It's Alexander Himes on Facebook. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning into the Ruckus with Alex Himes. We'll catch you next week.